Hey y'all, so today I want to talk to you about how you, the consumer, can help people like me who are artists, writers, and content creators in the fight against plagiarism and copyright theft. So, with that in mind, I want to introduce you to, I believe her name is Kai Amam. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is Kai Amam. She is the owner and operator of Crossed Keys Conjure out of the UK. As far as I know, it's only online. There is no brick and mortar shop, and it's formerly the Sacred Cove. Now, I first became aware of Kai Amam a little over a year ago when I was scrolling on Instagram. And those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I make a lot of memes from time to time. I just sort of go in spurts. So I went through a period where I did a lot of Dark Shadows memes, not the movie, but the old TV show. And one of them got around pretty far, and I'm really bad about or lazy about not watermarking them. I don't really care too much about the memes. Um, and then I did a bunch of the Cardi B ones where she's standing there as a young child, and it starts off with a lot like "My Mama Said" or what have you. Um, but I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw my content, something that I created that wasn't a meme, something that was serious and thoughtful, and this person, Kaya Mom, had taken my content, and wrote her name on it. She watermarked it with her name and business. So usually when people do things like that, it goes deeper. So I clicked on her Instagram profile and started going through it, and that also took me to her website, which at the time was the Sacred Cove. And I started looking through her website and blog, and I started recognizing my own work. In some instances, she took the structure of my articles and sort of copied it and changed a word here and there. And in other places, she took what I wrote word for word and reposted it as her own material. Um, and what happened was, so I always like to give people an opportunity to um, fix their mistakes. So if I can find a way to contact the person, I will send them an email, or I will uh, leave a comment on their blog to contact me about the content which does not belong to them. And so I went to her Instagram profile. I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to read it to you. But you can see here where it says Cross Keys Conjure, but that's because she changed her um, name on Instagram. It used to be the Sacred Cove, but even though she blocked me, I can still see her name and profile photo there. And so I'm going to read you what I wrote to her. And also, keep in mind, I'm going to read this as it is, but keep in mind when I wrote this, I was using voice dictate, and with my southern accent, Siri gets things messed up, and I don't always catch it when I hit that send button, or I was just probably so irritated and angry at the theft that I just hit the send button without editing it or looking at it. But this is the email I sent. Apparently what happened was I left a comment either on her blog or on her Instagram about her stealing my stuff, and she went back and deleted it. So this is what I said. After you deleted my comment, I went through your website and I can plainly see photos that are not yours and many instances of plagiarism on your part. These types of actions, especially in business, are simply unacceptable and you need to address them. In one of your blogs, you talk about respecting people who have been doing this longer than you, and stealing their work is one of the most disrespectful things you can do. If you stole from me, I'm sure that there are others you stole from too. And when this comes to light, you, your blog, your website, and your business, I'm going to come under a lot of scrutiny. That should have been is going to come under a lot of scrutiny. Please explain how you plan to address these issues. And then you can see right here where that little heart right there at the bottom, that means she liked the email. She liked it. So that told me, oh, in my stupidity, I thought, oh, okay, she liked my email. She's going to address this. Well, I waited to hear back from her, and I never did. I went about my life a little bit, and I think I went back maybe a day earlier or later that day, and that's when I saw that she had blocked me, so I couldn't see her page, and I don't know if I can email her or not. I don't know if she would see it, but the email I had sent prior to that, I could see it. Oh, and you can see right here, this occurred on April 17th, 2019. So this was a little bit more than a year ago. And so what I did was, since I saw that she was not gonna fix this, I went to Whois, and I found out who her web host was, and I went through the notions of doing a DMCA takedown notice, meaning I went through the protocols of that website. Usually, they usually have a form that they use, and you can just plug in the information. And so I had screenshots and everything stating where she had taken my work. And what happened was, it took a couple of days, but usually they will give the person the opportunity to correct it, and if they don't, the web host will take down the website. And what happened was, her website got taken down. And then, you really have to stay on top of these things, because invariably what happens when you catch people stealing your work, I don't think I've ever had but one experience where someone apologized and took it down. Every other time that people get mad at you as if you did something wrong, and if it's on the internet, it's free. It doesn't belong to anybody. And so what happened was, they're like the Hydra, you cut off one head and another one appears somewhere else. So what apparently happened, because I forgot about this woman, is she changed the name of her business and her website. And if you go to her website, you'll see down on the bottom in the copyright section, which is kind of ironic that she's trying to hold a copyright on stolen work, it still says The Sacred Cove. And the reason I made this video today is I actually woke up this morning, and when I went to Instagram, I had an email from someone who has come into conflict with Kai, and I don't know the details of it, but this person basically told me that Kai has cheated her. They've come into conflict, and I was basically told I didn't have to worry about her anymore. But I decided to make this video because this is something that happens a lot, and it needs to be addressed. So instead of just giving you accusations without any proof, what I want to do is read a couple of selections to show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you from my website, which is Carolina Conjure, and this is the section on Mojo Bags. Here you can see it on my iPad, and if you want to open up a new window on your computer and look, you can go to carolinaconjure.com, and let's go down under the Art of Conjure and then look at Mojo Bags. So this is what I wrote, and then I'm going to read what's on her website. What is a mojo bag? A mojo is the principal talisman in the hoodoo tradition, but it appears in other magical traditions as well. Mojo bags are typically made of red flannel, but they can also be made from leather or chamois, and often contain one or more curios believed to attract or dispel certain influences and or conditions. Although most Southern-style mojos are made of red flannel, some magical practitioners favor the color symbolism employed in candle magic and will match the color of the mojo bag to their goal, i.e. red for love, green for money, etc. What goes into a mojo bag is determined by your goal and what has been proven effective or traditional to use to achieve that goal. A Mojo bag will always contain at least one item. However, I generally prefer to have at least 3 items in a Mojo. Many people try to ensure that the total ingredients come to an odd number, 3, 7, 5, 9, or 13, and never more than 13. However, this is more of a suggestion than a rule. It is my belief that this practice stems from the idea that odd numbers are active and dynamic, whereas even ones are passive. Commercially, you will sometimes see Mojo bags advertised as double strength or triple strength, which means that these Mojos contain curios that are rarer and harder to obtain than normal, such as a human finger bone or a gator paw. Due to their relative rarity, these items are considered more powerful. Alternatively, some folks define double strength or triple strength Mojo bags as simply having more items than average. For example, a regular strength bag may contain 3 items. However, a triple strength Mojo bag may contain 3 items, 3 times that many ingredients for a total of 9 ingredients. Okay, and there's more, but I'm not going to read the whole article for you. You can go there. I talk about how to fix your Mojo bag, how to name it, and the care and maintenance of your Mojo bag. Now, I'm going to switch over to Cross Keys Conjure, which was formerly the Sacred Cove, and this is what she quote unquote wrote. What is a Mojo bag? A Mojo bag is the main talisman in the hoodoo tradition, but it does appear in other magical traditions too. Mojo bags are traditionally made of red flannel, but these days they are made from many material as long as it's opaque and you can't see the contents. No, an organza bag is not a suitable bag for a Mojo. They are transparent. Your Mojo is going to have a spirit, which how would you like to live with no privacy? Also, they are flimsy and will come apart at the seams. They are made for presenting gifts, not for long-term use. Use a strong material, cotton, velvet, silk, etc. Now here's more. Now that little bit of that part wasn't mine. The first part was, but now we're getting into word for word. Mojo bags are used to attract or dispel certain influences and or conditions. Although most traditional Mojo bags are made of red flannel, many hoodoo practitioners these days will match the color of the Mojo bag to their goal, red for love, green for money, and so on. What goes into a hoodoo Mojo bag is determined by your goal and should contain a minimum of 3 curios and a maximum of 13. It is common belief that odd numbers are active and dynamic, whereas even ones are passive. So many people add 3, 7, 5, 9, or 13 curios. And then she gets into some other stuff that was probably stolen from the likes of Cat Ironwood and others, because at the very bottom of this article she does reference Talia Felix, Elhoim Leafar, and Elizabeth Dupart, which she probably plagiarized from them too. But it's also, she talks about preparing and fixing a Mojo bag. There are sections in that section that are word for what's on my website. She talks about naming your Mojo bag, which is almost word for word what's on mine. And then how to care for your Mojo bag is almost word for mine. So, and this is just one example. I also went through her blog, and she has a blog entry on ancestor veneration that is virtually word for word my article from my website at Carolina Conjure. So my thought is how you as a consumer can help fight against this is, as long as these people are profiting from stolen work, no legitimate worker is going to do something like this. I can understand a young person out of their own ignorance would, copy someone else's work and throw it up on a website or a blog innocently. But because I remember in high school having to do book reports, and we would just, Abraham Lincoln, we would just open up the encyclopedia to Abraham Lincoln and just copy what was in there. And we learned the hard way that was plagiarism. You had to write your own original work. So no legitimate worker is going to take another worker's information, their art, because there are photos on there that I don't believe belong to her. Their art, their photos, their content, and present it as their own on their website, especially when they're trying to sell a product or trying to sell themselves. You as the consumer, you don't want to be a part of that tainted magic, or I wouldn't want to be. And the only way these people can get away with this is that they continue to profit from the stolen material. If you guys are not shopping at this website, if you are not liking the blog posts, if you are not liking the videos, if you are not liking and commenting on the photos on Instagram, if you are not sharing links to the website, and again, I think I've already said it, but if you're not making purchases from this person, they cannot continue to enact this behavior. It is not only immoral, it's illegal. And only by being more conscious of this type of behavior can you be a better consumer, in the sense of supporting people who create original content and not supporting people who are criminals and thieves. So I encourage you, if you are a past customer of this person, I encourage you not to shop with her again. If you were planning on shopping with her, I encourage you to find another worker or find another source or supply. And a lot of you also are very well read. I know many of you are very well read. And if you're like me, you're reading different websites. You know, you may read something by me or Kat Ironwood or Denise Alvarado, and then you go to another website and you read something very similar, and often word for word. You will recognize the original author of that work. Let that author know. If it's me or Kat or Denise or something, we will always appreciate someone letting us know that someone is stealing our work, and we will move to have that work taken down and dealt with in a proper manner. Even as I write this, just before I started making this video, I spent some time at GoDaddy writing up a DMCA takedown notice on the new website Crossed Keys Conjure due to the plagiarism and copyright theft on there. So that is my whole spiel on not supporting people who are liars and thieves, and how you as a consumer can support people like me who are artists, writers, and content creators. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I hope you all have a great day and have a really great weekend. I'll see you guys next time, and I am planning on something fun. I had a fun post I wanted to do for you today, but then this came up and I really wanted to address it directly in this video. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great evening.